Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here, your host on the DTCD Show, and today we are talking about the history of SMS messaging. Let's take a look at how texting started, who played a key role in texting history, and which devices marked its evolution. 1837 to 1844. The electric telegraph was invented in 1837. It was the first device that could electronically send text-based messages from one location to another. The first telegram, sent by Samuel Morse, inventor of the Morse code, only traveled for 2 miles. By 1844, Morse had set up the first long-distance telegraph system between Baltimore and Washington, a total distance of 44 miles. The first message sent using the system read, "What hath God wrought?" This is a direct Bible reference and a Book of Numbers quote, which translates to, "What has God made?" meant to point out the miraculous nature of technological progress. Radio communication followed shortly after with the invention of radio telegraphy, or wireless telegraphy. Guglielmo Marconi invented the first radio transmitter receivers between 1894 and 1895, which paved the way to the development of radio telephony. At the beginning of 1908, transoceanic stations exchanged telegrams of up to 200 words per minute. 1933, the German Reichspost postal service unveiled the telex service to overcome the shortcomings of telegraphs. Telex was a public network of teleprinters that was very similar to today's telephone networks. 1971, the University of Hawaii used AlohaNet to send ultra-high-frequency UHF radio waves carrying text message data. The technology eventually gave way to today's wireless networks. When and how was texting invented? 1984, text messaging started with Friedhelm Hillebrand and Bernard Gilbert. The first SMS messages were limited to 160 7-bit characters so they could fit onto existing signaling formats. A fun fact about the history of texting, Hillebrand argued that while 160 characters don't sound like a lot, that's actually more than enough characters to convey most messages. He sat at a typewriter and typed out random sentences, counting every letter, number, punctuation, and space to reach this conclusion. Almost every time, his random musings fell within the 160-character limit. Who invented texting? Hillebrand and Gilbert are credited with coming up with the SMS short messaging service concept. The SMS invention is attributed by some to Finnish engineer Matti Mikkonen, the father of SMS, for his work at Nokia, though he didn't consider himself the inventor of texting due to the large number of engineers involved. The term SMS stands for Short Message Service. SMS messaging and text messaging are typically used interchangeably. Originally, SMS messaging only contained text. However, SMS messaging can now also include multimedia messages known as MMS that feature images, GIFs, videos, sound clips, and emojis. 1992, the first text message was sent to a cell phone by 22-year-old engineer Neil Papworth. The recipient was Richard Jarvis, who was attending a Christmas party near Vodafone headquarters in Newbury, England. This is when texting as we know it today was invented. What did the first text message say? The text was a heartwarming message that simply read, "Merry Christmas." 1993, a year later, Brennan Hayden, an engineer for Irish wireless company Aldiscan, sent the first commercial text messages. It said "burp," which had nothing to do with gastroenterology, but instead signified the birth of a new form of communication in the history of texting. The 1993 cell phone released by Nokia was the first phone that could text. One of the first cell phones that could do text messages was the Nokia 2110. 1995. Autofill was a key development in the history of texting as well. It opened the door to faster texting. The first autofill technology was called T9. The technology made it quite a bit easier to send text messages using a 10-digit keypad. 1997, Nokia released the first cell phone featuring a QWERTY keyboard, the Nokia 9000i Communicator. The 9000 had what would be considered a large keyboard for a cell phone, but a small keyboard compared to today's tablets. 1999, another important milestone in the history of texting, was the introduction of cross-network texts. Before 1999, you could only message people who shared the same service provider. In 2000, texting becomes mainstream, with message volumes reaching an average of 35 texts per person per month in the US. Texting was especially popular among college students, prompting the Wall Street Journal to call texting a new fever. The texting popularity takes off in 2001 as many companies turn to SMS as a primary marketing tool. In the light of the new market development, TextMagic was founded and began helping businesses improve communications and mobile marketing ever since. In 2002, text messaging becomes a global phenomenon, reaching 250 billion messages sent worldwide in a single year. How did text messaging evolve? In 2003, SMS messaging found a new purpose when the TV show American Idol pioneered text-to-vote. Viewers could choose their favorite singer by texting their vote to a number displayed on screen. In 2006, Twitter is born. The network's famous 140-character limit was inspired by Hillenbrand, who invented SMS messaging in 1984. When you add the 20-character limit on the Twitter usernames to the 140-tweet limit, you get 160, which was the original character limit for text messages. In 2007, texting becomes the world's most popular mobile data service worldwide, used by 2.4 billion out of 3.3 billion mobile phone users. The number of texts sent surpassed the number of calls made for the first time. Apple released the first iPhone in the same year. 2008, the United Way launched the first text-to-donate campaign, which was featured during Super Bowl in the same year. Obama famously used a text-to-donate campaign to help him win the election. He also used SMS software to send bulk text messages and grow his grassroots campaign. Texting in the modern era. In 2010, at this point in time, text messaging was a mainstream practice in many cultures. In fact, the verb texting was added to the dictionary in 2010. No surprise, given that the number of text messages sent worldwide reached 6.1 trillion that year, roughly 1,000 messages per person. In 2013, internet-based mobile messaging services like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, iMessages, and Viber caught up with SMS messaging in terms of overall popularity and message volume. In 2019, while mobile messaging apps continue to grow in popularity, they have not extinguished SMS messaging, which is still a growing market. For example, the market for enterprise SMS is rapidly increasing as companies continue to look for this communication channel as a new way to connect with customers. What's the future of SMS? Businesses will increasingly use SMS software to interact with customers. SMS messages are already used to ask for feedback, send parcel delivery notifications, carry out security authorizations, confirm appointments, and so much more. These business-to-consumer text messages are often called SMS notifications, and they are usually used to send and announce special events in response to transactions. Thank you all, everyone, for watching the second episode of the DTCD Show. I am your host, Alex, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone. Also, by the way, if you have any ideas for future videos, comment them down below, and I'll make the videos that you guys want to see. Bye, everyone.